incredible consultant, but he's much more than a consultant. He's Thiago Ferreira. Ferreira, gente. Ferreira. Thiago Ferreira from Elevate AI Consulting. So please join me with a warm welcome, Mr. Ferreira.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is great to be here with you guys today. Great to be going first, right, when everybody's still full of energy. So today we're going to be talking about answer engine optimization. Some people call it GEO, AEO. We've heard some different terms. The industry hasn't quite coalesced around a single one yet. But in short, it is how to dominate an AI search. So as a way of introduction, again, my name is Thiago Ferreira. If the name didn't give it away, I am from Brazil, right? People usually know that right away. And I'm the founder and CEO of Elevate AI Consulting here in Miami. And on top of that, I'm actually also an adjunct professor at the University of Miami, where I teach a course. I'm going to be teaching a course actually starting next fall called Human-Centered AI for All. And it's actually a course that I designed because I found that there is a gap in education right now in AI courses. Most courses are designed for students who are already technology majors or developers or wannabe coders. And I just found myself thinking, where is the AI course for the business major, for the history major, for the architecture major, right? Everybody's going to be needing to use AI, and those courses just weren't quite there. So I'm teaching that in the fall. So if you guys know anybody going to UM, there's still a few spots left in the course, so let them know to register. And I do have my LinkedIn here as well. I'll have a QR code or so at the end in case you want to connect. And I would love to connect with you and keep in touch after this. So let's get started, right? First of all, let's figure out what we're talking about here. What is answer engine optimization, right? And if we think about it kind of conceptually, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all of these tools that we're using are answer engines, right? We're asking questions, we're giving it different prompts, and it's giving us answers. And so the purpose of answer engine optimization is really to optimize your content so that you and your products and your services can come out as an answer when your clients are looking for you, right? We want to optimize that content so that the AI tools, the crawling bots can easily crawl your website, recognize that you're actually an expert at what your services, and give you as one of those 2 or 3 recommendations or answers that is given to your clients when they're looking for you. And so the strategy, as we're going to talk about today, is to emphasize structure, have concise answers already directly on your website, as well as having clear FAQs and other components as we're going to be talking about. And success in answer engine optimization is measured by actually how often you're coming up as an answer for different prompts. So we're tracking different prompts, different things that your clients could be typing into ChatGPT and Claude in order to find you, and how often you're actually coming up as one of those answers. And why is this important, right? So we've been doing SEO for years, right? Everybody has been optimizing their website for keywords. And if we think about it again a little bit conceptually, things have changed, right? More and more people are going to AI tools in order to do their Googling, right? And also, even Google itself is providing those AI answers as short answers in their results. And so traditionally, up to 2 or 3 years ago, when we were searching for something, we used to type into the Google search box, or Bing if you're that type of person, right? And you would actually click through different websites, right? The search engines will give you those 10, 15, 20 links. And then you would actually click through to those websites, and you would actually do some research when you're looking for things. But nowadays, if you think about it, people are just typing, hey, ChatGPT, find me the best consultant who specializes in healthcare automation in Miami. ChatGPT is giving those 2 or 3 answers that it considers should be the top answers. And a lot of times, that's it. The clients are not clicking through to the website. Maybe they're asking a follow-up question to those AI tools, but there's not really as much interaction. The research is being done by the AI tools directly, and that's completely changed everything, right? Because we're talking about a zero-click search experience. We're now optimizing our websites and our content, and no human actually may ever see it. It's just those AI, the crawling bots that are crawling your content and providing that answer directly, and it's a zero-click search. And that changes everything when we think about how we optimize our content, how we organize it, even how we monetize our content, right? Because we used to put ads on our website and hope that people see and click through those in order to make money. And now it's that zero-click experience where maybe no one is even going to your website at all. So it's flipped everything on its head and has changed the way that we really have to optimize and organize the content on our pages. And so why does your business actually need AEO, right? So it's very simple. When someone asks, so when they're looking for me, right, who is the best AI consultant in South Florida? Maybe they add on there for training or for small businesses, for strategy. ChatGPT is only providing the top 2 or 3 recommendations. And so whereas the joke used to be that if you're on page 2 of Google search results, you don't exist, now, if you're not one of those top 2 or 3 recommendations that the AI tools are giving, then you're really invisible to your clients in the moment where they're looking for you. And for my small business, this has made a huge difference. I am not paying for any ads. I have not paid for any marketing whatsoever for my business. And I'm personally booking between 3 and 5 calls every single week with clients that have found me on ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. And when I look at the rankings, actually, when I look at the share of voice for my business, as a small business, I'm ranking against Accenture, EY, and Deloitte. I'm usually in the top 5 right there in share of voice with them because I've been ahead of the curve and been optimizing my content since the beginning of the AI revolution. And so it really is a way for small businesses to compete against the giants without having to spend the millions of dollars that they spend on marketing and advertising. So let's understand what are the differences, right, between traditional SEO that we've been doing for years now and AEO, which we now must focus on. And the reality is that AEO is actually SEO with a few extra steps. But it looks completely different. So for traditional search, the primary channel was Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, and these other traditional search engines. And for AEO, it is the Google AI overviews, it is ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and voice assistants as well, which is actually even more critical, right? Because if you've noticed, ChatGPT, as I mentioned, will give you 2 or 3 answers. If you ask Alexa or Siri, it'll give you 1 answer, right? It gives you the top recommendation that it thinks. So you really want to make sure that your business is that top 1 answer in voice search as well. And the goal with traditional SEO was to rank high, hopefully that first result, the first non-sponsored result on Google, right? Or at least to be on the first page. But with AEO, the goal was to be cited as the definitive answer and expert in whatever product it is that you offer. The content format for traditional SEO, we've been used to writing long form pages, right, and optimizing for keywords. We were hiring SEO consultants to help us write these blogs, and we were filling our pages with the proper keywords so that Google could find us. But with AEO, it's actually different. The content that you want to have on your website is short format, question-driven answers. FAQs are really important, and we'll talk about why, and clear headings as well. And as I was just mentioning, the core signals for SEO were keywords, backlinks, but for AEO, we're talking about structured data, entity clarity, and most of all, focusing on your authority and why you are the expert at what you do. The user journey, as we talked about, used to be search, click, visit website, and now it's ask question, you get an AI answer, and then maybe you click through to the website, or you follow up with an additional prompt with additional questions. And the success metrics for traditional SEO, where your rankings, right, organic traffic, and how often users actually dwell and use your website. Whereas for now, you have an AI visibility score. We're looking at how many citations, how often the AI search engines are actually pulling content from your website versus your competitors, and your AI share of voice against your competitors. So again, it's a total change to the way that search works and to how your customers actually find your services. So the number one question actually that I get from business owners is, man, like I've been optimizing my content, I've been optimizing for SEO for like 15 years. I spent so much money on this. Has that all gone to waste? And the answer is actually no. AEO actually builds on traditional SEO. So having a good SEO foundation, the technical health of your website, your authority, the discoverability that make a website trustworthy, that's actually the foundation. So if you have good SEO on your website, you're already part of the way there. And then the AEO layer actually sits on top with content that's easily extractable by the AI search engines. And the combined power of both is what allows for your products or your services to be found by your clients on the AI search tools. So another way to think about it is that SEO is the library, right? When you're optimizing for SEO, you're optimizing for those links, and you want to be part of that library that Google offers. Whereas AEO is actually the card on the catalog that points to the exact sentence in the book in the library that you are mentioned. So why does that matter right now, right? So about 77% of users of ChatGPT and other AI tools actually use it as a search engine. So they're actually no longer going to Google or the other search engines. They're just using ChatGPT for everything. There is huge growth potential for your business. You can reach 3 times visibility increase by optimizing your content in these search engines. And again, we are in that zero-click search era, right? The click-through to your website is actually optional. People may be just getting their answers directly from these search engines and never clicking through and seeing your content at all. So the shift is happening now, and the opportunity, especially for small businesses, as I mentioned, is now in order to level the playing field, again, without having to spend millions of dollars on advertising to compete against the giants in your field. Now, let's talk about what are actually the core components of AEO. And number one is actually FAQs and question-based content. Again, if we think about this a little bit conceptually, right? People are asking questions to the AI search tools and getting answers. And so if your website already has those questions and those answers, that people are likely to ask, then you're more likely to be cited because you're just making it easy for these search engines, for these AI search engines to actually find you, right? So these AI search engines are looking for those headings. For example, on my website, it doesn't say contact us. It says, how do you contact Elevate AI Consulting? And then I have my contact box underneath. Every single one of the pages on my website has FAQs about the content on that page, and also about who I am, who my services are for, and answering direct questions that people may be asking when they're looking for me. So some of the common mistakes that people make are writing long, meandering posts and paragraphs without explicit questions, burying answers to things that people may be asking about your products in those long texts. You actually want to have preferably even a TLDR, too long, didn't read box with a summary of what's on your page, and failing to include common user queries that people may be searching for about you. The second core component, and there are 7 of these that we're going to go through, are structure headings and semantic clarity. So one mistake that I see a lot of people making is not actually using those titles and headings to and normal text, right? The same way that we would organize our text in a very nice Word document, for example. That's the best way to organize your website as well. So clear heading hierarchies, H1, H2, H3, help both humans and AI models actually scan through your content quicker, identify what's a title, what's a heading, what's the regular text, so that it can scan through your website quicker and find the answers that you're looking for. So things to avoid there include inconsistent heading levels, long, unbroken text blocks and paragraphs, and ambiguous section titles that don't actually describe what's in that section. So again, thinking about it conceptually, we want to make it easy for these crawling bots and these search engines to identify what's on your website, what are the titles, and what does that text beneath the headings actually include. Core component number 3 is entity clarity. And one thing that I haven't mentioned is that AI is not just looking at your website, it is bringing your entire web presence together. So being very clear about who you are, clearly stating your company name, your location, and your industry on every key page, and then making sure that that information matches everywhere. So if the information on your website doesn't match the information on your Google My Business page or on your LinkedIn page, then there are inconsistencies, and the AI search engines are less likely to pick up your content because it's just simply not clear about which one is correct. And you want to explicitly state what you do, describe your services, your products, and your areas of expertise. You want to clearly state who your clients are and who each of your services are designed for. And finally, as I just mentioned, consistency matters. You want to make sure that information is consistent across the different pages on your website and anywhere else on the web that you're mentioned. So as I mentioned, your LinkedIn, your Google My Business page, your company LinkedIn page. We want to make sure that everything is consistent and that it all matches. And then core component number 4, for those of you that have been doing SEO for a while, this is going to sound familiar. It is the EAT, E-E-A-T. It stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. So again, I keep saying this, right? But thinking about it conceptually, right? I'm a professor, so I like to think things in the bigger picture. AI, all of these AI tools, it wants to be your best friend, actually, right? It wants to gain your trust, and it does that by always trying to give you the best answers and the best recommendations. So although this is a core component of SEO and has been for a while, the AI tools are bringing it together in a different way. It wants to see your expertise, right? So you want to highlight, make sure that your website highlights your credentials, your certifications, your academic positions, your professional roles that you've had over the years, because you're trying to prove that you're the actual expert, right? Then you want to have social proof, those testimonials, Yelp reviews, Google My Business reviews. Those have never been more important for your business, because AI is looking for those 5-star reviews in order to recommend you, right? Again, it wants to make sure that it's giving your clients a trustworthy and a good recommendation. Then having case studies and results is more critical than ever as well. So showing real client results and real case studies featured on your website is key. AI loves that. AI loves the before and after. AI loves the, here's a case study of our product actually working for our clients. And then finally, is looking for trust, right? Is looking linking from reputable institutions, research papers, industry standards. It is bringing together content from Reddit and what people are saying about you on those forums. It is looking at LinkedIn and your testimonials and your comments and your content there as well. So again, this has been a core component of SEO for a while that AI search is bringing together in a whole new way. And those trust signals, those expertise signals have become more important than ever. Then you want to have an internal linking strategy, right? So you want to make sure that your service pages are linking to relevant case studies that you have on your website. You want to make sure that your case studies are linking to regular blog content that you may be writing. You want to make sure that your blog content is linking back to those service pages, right? And that your about page and your authority page is looking back to all of that content as well. And preferably, you want to have an about page or a certifications page where you bring that all together very easily and basically spoon feed it to these AI tools, right? So this matters because it helps the AI model connect the content across your website. It helps it understand better how everything is related to one another. And it just makes it easier to crawl and, again, bring it all together for your clients. And so the easier that you make it and the more internal linking that you have, the more likely it is that your content is actually going to, number one, be indexed by the Google Search Console, right? And then also that it will be cited and picked up by these AI search bots. Number 6 out of 7, we're almost at the last one. It is languages and other inclusive AEO signals, right? So if you speak multiple languages, really, or if you offer your services or your products in different languages, you want to make sure that that is very clearly listed on your website, maybe even have your website in different versions of different languages, which AI can help you do very easily. You want to have your geographic reach, so clearly clarify the locations and the markets that you serve. And this is actually a pet peeve of mine. I don't know if you've noticed this. Sometimes you go to a company website and they'll have different pages, one for Atlanta, one for Houston, one for Miami, and you know that they're just faking that. They're just actually in Raleigh, North Carolina, right? But they're creating that content in order to be more likely to be picked up nationally by this AI search engine. So it's a little bit of a cheat there that people do, but that's the reality. That's the way that the search engine, the AI tools work now. You want to have inclusive messaging, so diverse audiences or accessibility options as well that your business offers. And you want to have hreflang tags, and those are HTML attributes used to specify the language and geographic targeting of your website and of your services. And then finally, and most importantly, are schema markups and structured data. So this is code that lives in the back end of your website that helps the AI crawling bots read exactly what's on your page. It is not difficult to do. The difficult part is only that every time you update the content on your web page, you have to update your schema markups as well. And you need to be really strategic about what that schema markup actually has. There are many different types of schemas, such as an organizational schema, person schema, FAQs, services. These, again, are just helping the AI bots crawl easily your content in the back end without having to go to the front end and the user visible part of your website in order to crawl and cite your content, right? And most importantly, the one that a lot of people miss is the breadcrumbs list schemas, which just tell your website, or which just tell the AI chatbots exactly how your website and your sitemap is organized so that it can, again, crawl your content more easily, right? The whole entire goal here is to make it as easy as possible for these AI search engines to find and cite your content. So some of the common mistakes to avoid with AEO is number one, having unstructured content. Number two, missing questions, right? Again, we want to spoon feed these answers as easily as possible to the AI search engines. Number three, not having those schema markups in the back end. That is huge. Number four, weak authority, right? So not properly citing your content, not having proper authorship, credentials, testimonials, or social proof. Number five, poor entity clarity or mismatch between different pages or different websites that mention you. And number six, having isolated pages in your website, so the lack of internal linking really makes it unlikely that these AI search tools are going to pick up those particular pages. So this is all part of the strategy that you want to have when you're creating your website, whether it's a one-page, just landing page about your business, or a larger website with a lot of content. You want to make sure that you're following all those best practices. So how do you actually get started, right? For all of you here that have a website, that have a business, what can you do when you get home tonight in order to make sure that you're starting to get cited? Number one, have a clearly defined purpose, right? So clearly define what are your clients' pain points or challenges that your product actually solves with specific context and anticipating what kind of questions your clients may be asking these AI tools. So just the same way that we used to want to anticipate what are the keywords that people might be searching for us, now we want to anticipate what are the questions that they might be asking. Number two, increase your credibility and trustworthiness. So make sure that all the clients that you've served, reach out to them, ask them for that testimonial, ask them for that 5-star review on Yelp or Google My Business, maybe even provide them a small incentive for giving you that review. It'll pay back dividends, and post those case studies, right? Show quantifiable results with numbers, right? With results, with what your clients actually said about the products or the services that you delivered. You want to increase your trustworthiness and your credibility. And then finally, have FAQ sections on every page. And if you can as well, have a short TLDR block with a summary of the content that you have on your page. So on my website, every page starts with a title, TLDR block summarizing what's on that page. And then I have the actual content on the page. And then I have very strategic FAQs at the bottom that are summarizing the answers for questions that may be asked. And then in the back end of the website, I have my schemas and JSON LD markups. So what is our approach? And this is how we would work with you if you were to reach out to us, or most likely how most consultancies and agencies are doing this type of work. Number one, we start with an audit. We review your pages for question-based headings, TLDR sections, and clear structure. Number two, the very next thing that we're going to do is going to be implement those FAQ schemas in the back end of your website. We're going to help you strengthen your authority by adding your credentials, case studies, testimonials, and external citations. Then we're going to map all your entities and, again, ensure consistent naming, location, and service descriptions across all of your pages. Number five, we're going to build those internal links for you and make sure that everything is linked where it makes sense. And then number six, we monitor and iterate, right? We track your visibility, we track your share of voice over time, and you want to be tracking as well how often you are actually cited for specific prompts over time. So AEO is truly an opportunity to lead in discovery. And again, it is how you can level the playing field against your competitors. So to finish off here, I do have an exclusive offer for those that are here. I am offering a free 30-minute strategy session for everyone that's here. Just make sure that you mention eMerge Americas. You can scan the QR code here. It'll take you directly to our contact page, where I'll be more than happy to talk you through everything that we just talked about today. Happy to share this presentation with anybody who wants it as well, and we'll provide an initial audit of your website for you. And this is exactly what I just said. This is what would happen during those 30 minutes if you actually contact us. And I hope that you do. So there we go. That is going to be it for me today, everybody. I hope that was useful content. I want to thank you. I hope you have a great day here and over the next few days. And if I can ask one thing, if you enjoyed this workshop, please scan the QR code and leave us a 5-star review. That is how I get referred by ChatGPT, right? And that would really help for me as well. And thank you, and enjoy the speakers today. Thank you.